Tuesday, from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, it's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports. Their rookie quarterback and the Washington Redskins versus Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Taken about 7 yards deep, and he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Time for Dak Prescott and the Dallas offense to go to work. Prescott, of course, the former 4th-round pick in 2016 out of Mississippi State.
You hear so many discussions about Dak Prescott. Is he one of the top quarterbacks in the league? Is he still ascending? What does he need to do to get there? All I know is that when he's in control of the Dallas offense, they were #1 in the league last year in terms of yards per play, and he was 2nd in the league in passing yards with over 4,900. This guy gets it done, and his team really likes him as their leader.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott, and that's not the start that he was looking for as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. At the 23, it's 2nd and 12.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. Remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Steps away to his left. He'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a 1st down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Elliott. The numbers for Zeke from last week: 22 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, he's the #2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to #1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
Now a 2nd down and 6. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Elliott. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all this stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up. A look at the numbers for well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
And he's going to keep it here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now a run with Geis. And he gets us inside the 35-yard line. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
First carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's got his running back, Darius Geis. Able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 18 yards that time to push him up first. Response, nice drive, taking it down first and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. J.D. McKissick, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We're watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. That'll bring up second down.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there, first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. You credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it.
That's a great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Dancing to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
A 7-yard gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. The Redskins have Greg Stroman back deep. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. These two teams all tied after one. Second and 6. He'll look to throw. Connects here with a tight end, Jeremy Sprinkle. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A carry now for McKissick. Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is Latimer, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 2.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. To the ground on first, it's Geis. And boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
2nd and 4. We got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Redskins have taken the lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Their own 25-yard line.
Dallas gets set to take the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
They start on the ground with Elliott, and he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 39-yard line.
From the 39, Prescott, and he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Tenth carry now for Elliott. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
From just shy of midfield, Prescott. This will be caught by Brown. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 34-yard line. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Prescott.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
For the Cowboy field goal. A 45-yard gain.
And this one is right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
14. Cowboys 10.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Darius Geis with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. It's good, and it's 21-10. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is Tony Pollard. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open.
And a loose football. And the Redskins scoop it. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
The previous play is under review.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen, because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Gonna take a shot for Gallup, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away, and it's second down.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Well, a man open down the middle of the field, and he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That'll be caught. It's Steven Sims. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Options galore here, second and a few inches. He gets it to Sims, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. first down. He'll drop to throw. He gets it complete to Latimer. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. He got 29 yards that time. Off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Now Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. A running play there, going to get 10 and a quick first down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. A first down throw for Prescott, and that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. The rookie CeeDee Lamb, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Now Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And it'll move the chains.
First down, Dallas. Greg Zuerlein on for the field goal.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. A big reason why they've been so successful, this defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket.
So true, and that's when it's really difficult because defensively you can have a game plan and trying to count for all the things you've seen on tape, the way that they run their plays, even his running. But when it's a play where you...
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
What I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
Already too often in this game, we've seen him break runs to the second and the third level, and I think this defense has been way too focused on their passing game. At some point, they've got to understand that the running game is hurting them as well. That last run, that bit them again.
Out of the gun now on third down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in. Oh, there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. On first down, this is Geis. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, Brandon, I don't think they're making any secret of what they want to do right now. They want to control the clock, keep the ball away from the other team. You just wonder, did they start to shut it down a little bit too early? I think what they're counting on, though, if they continue to move the ball and get significant gains, their energy will stay high, and they won't go into hiding too quickly.
And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with Geis. And he'll take this one down to the 36. A gain of 3, second down.
Already too often in this game, we've seen him break runs to the second and the third level, and I think this defense has been way too focused on their passing game. At some point, they've got to understand that the running game is hurting them as well. That last run, that bit them again.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 25-yard line. 11 yards there, first down. So they got the deal done, and now he can just focus on football. He's got that behind him. Family not going anywhere, staying put. He can focus on football.
And I like how you mentioned the family, because that's a huge part of it, because everyone needs to be happy and comfortable. And, you know, while this process was going on, people had to be wondering, especially within his own crew, are we going to have to move? Are we going to have to change things? Not anymore. They get to stay where they're comfortable and familiar.
Geis. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Well, Brandon, I don't think they're making any secret of what they want to do right now. They want to control the clock, keep the ball away from the other team. You just wonder, did they start to shut it down a little bit too early? I think what they're counting on, though, if they continue to move the ball and get significant gains, their energy will stay high, and they won't go into hiding too quickly.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
They're bringing us about right now with a convincing to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. This is Geis. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. From the right hash, this from 33. Hopkins' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Eight yards to go on second down. Draw play, Elliott. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Gerard Payne's one of a good number of young defensive tackles in the game. Made a nice stop there, now in his 3rd year out of Alabama.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come Dalton here. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
First down, Cowboys.
Now Elliott. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 30. 15 yards on the play, first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Prescott yet again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. And again it's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. This has been a long drive. You know that defense, they're craving to get off the field. They were able to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
Yeah, and on the offensive side of the ledger, they were thinking about how do we punctuate this drive with 6, right? Making an exclamation point. Instead, you got to put a question mark next to this drive now after the fumble, even though they recovered it.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
And this is a situation where defensively, Brandon, you're going to be so excited. It's getting late. You've got the lead. No reason to not just pin your ears back and go. Bring the pressure. And here they hit him as he's releasing the football, and that's going to help lead to the interception.
A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's McKissick. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On the ground, it's Geis. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from the world. They're up to the challenge.
Latimer's got it. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. Well, clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Here's Geis. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Flushed out right. On the right side here, and that's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And just a yard to go here on second down. Now a run with Geis. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now Pollard. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Cowboys take over first and 10.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how he, one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They start on the ground with Geis. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
3rd and 4.
With McKesson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the 1st down, close it out.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he finds McLaurin. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. And also give him a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Prescott got an open man, the tight end Jarwin. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
A second down throw for Prescott. His throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them.